Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm your friend in Xcode. Today we'll continue to learn the iOS development. Speak of the iOS development, two languages that we should know. One is called the Objective-C. Another is called the Swift. The Swift is the newest language that you could learn. And the Objective-C is the oldest language. And to be honest, the Swift is much more simpler than the Objective-C. Today we will try to create two projects. One will be using the Swift programming language, and another are going to use the Objective-C programming language. So let's get started. First, we need to open the Xcode editor. Okay, this is a window. We could just try to create a new Xcode project, and from there, it's an application for sure. Well, I didn't know that we could use this editor to create a game. I don't know that. The multi-platform here probably just means iOS, macOS, watchOS, tvOS, but it's definitely not mean the Android or the Windows. But that's fine. Let's just select the app here and hit the next button. From here, we're going to give it a name. Let's say it's just another demo, so I'll just call it Demo Swift. Okay, but why cannot hit the next? Probably we need to give it an identifier or identification string. Let me just write it this way: xyz.insidexo.demoswift. Okay, then we could be able to hit the next button. From there, it asks us to save that project. Then we will save it. Okay, after that, we got something like this. We got, let's say, no other information was supplied by the version control system. We could fix it. If we're gonna fix it, we're gonna give it the name. For example, for this one would be Xcode. For me, it would be Xcode, and with my Gmail address. Alright, how can I save this? I don't know, just close it. Okay, for now, if you look at the structure it has, you will generally notice that it's a Swift language. It didn't give us an option to choose. For example, if we want to create this project with Objective-C, it would be impossible because it didn't give us an option. So by default, it will create a project with a Swift programming language. Okay. So let's have a look about this application or the code that we have. For now, we only got the hello world string out there. I don't know the meaning for it, but for now, I just want to run this project. So I'm gonna hit this play button. Alright, then let's wait. Okay, after waiting, here's a program comes up with the name of Demo Swift, and here's a window that we got, which is a hello world. This little stuff out there. Alright, now let me just change this string for a little bit. For example, I want to change it to hello inside. Oh, we're gonna save it, right? How can I save it? By click some button with my mouse because I couldn't press the control key with inside of the VNC mod. Okay, so we cannot just click a button to save our project, right? That's weird. Alright, now let me just hit the play button again. It will say an instance of Demo Swift is already running. Would you like to terminate it and launch a new instance? And yes, we want to do that. Replace. Yeah, after that, we got a new window, which is said hello in Xcode. That's great. The only problem is I do not want to create a desktop application. What I really want to do is to create an iOS application or app. So what we're going to do is to just simply close this stuff. Stop the task. Then we're gonna try to create a new project here. For this time, I'll just choose iOS with the game out there. Then hit the next button. Alright, for this time, we have an option. We have option to choose the programming language. It could be the Swift or why? Why cannot say the Objective-C? That's weird. So let me do this. First, I'm gonna give it a name, another demo. Alright. Then we're gonna choose the interface. For now, yeah, we could change the interface to storyboard. And with that change, we could be able to select the Objective-C programming language. But for now, let's just stick into the Swift UI because this is the newest technique and the newest version that we could use to make an iOS application. Right, let me hit the next button, create. Alright, for now, as you could see, we still got the same code as we had before, which is a hello world. Yeah, let me just run this application. Oh my god, you know what? The Xcode editor itself, he launched a new iOS simulator. So it didn't really use the older one that we created for the Flutter. It starts a new simulator for himself. And this is what we got, the hello world screen in here. So if that's the case, I'll just turn off the old simulator. Okay, for now, let me play around with this programming language. Can we just add another text with just the copy and paste? It's quite annoying for me because I cannot press the CTRL key from the VNC. That's not cool. So I'll just do it with the mouse operation. So for now, let me just run it again. Okay, as you could say, they are corresponding. They are bounded together, the code to the screen. From the code, we got the hello world and hello in Xcode. And as you could see on the screen, we also got the hello world and hello in Xcode. So the codes, the code that I wrote just worked without any problem. That's awesome. To be honest, this is quite simple for writing the components with Swift programming language. Here we got a repository. I just want to use this repository with our projects, but I don't know how. So I'm gonna do some search for it. Well, that's interesting because I couldn't see anything that related to how to import a Swift library into a Swift project. I didn't see any links that fits my need. You know what? For a different open source project, for example, this one, it has some details about how can you use the library. POD file. Do we have that? Come on, what is that? What is Carco's PODS? Carco PODS is a dependency manager for Swift and Objective-C Carco A projects. It has over 84,000 libraries and is used in over 3 million apps. Really? Why I don't know that before? That's why I have determined to know this platform, because I think that I don't know anything related to this kind of platform. Even though I am quite familiar with Windows, Android, and Linux system, but I have no idea about this platform, the MSA or the iOS system. Here's another project. The usage for it would be much more complex. For example, drag the charts Xcode project into your project. Go to your target settings, head the aid under the embedded boundary section, and select the charts.framework. And you're gonna import this chart. When using swept in an Object-C project, you need to import your bridging header. Usually it's something like this, your project swept.header. So in charts daemon or demo, it's charts demo swept.h. Oh, that's tedious. So let me say, this project or this repository was written with the swept programming language, while when you import this project, you will have to still use the C style importing method. That's stupid. Okay, let me just switch to another repository to say how they made that importing. For this one, it says that it requires iOS 13 and Xcode 11. In Xcode, go to the file, go to the swept packages, add package dependencies, and paste in the rebus URL. So we just have to add a link to our swept project. Then it's done. So this method is quite simple, I guess. It's quite simple and reasonable. So I'll probably just use this one as a showcase. Alright, let's do it. We're gonna go to the file, swept packages. Well, the problem is we do not have a file kind of thing. Where's the file? I don't say anything out there. Did you say it from the Xcode editor? Where's the file? Where's the menu? To be honest, where's that? They must be kidding. They must be kidding, right? I didn't say anything related to the file. Was that normal? For example, now if we go to the file, oh, does it mean this one? File, swept packages. File, swept packages. No, I don't say anything. Okay, for now we got Xcode. If we click the file again, we say swept packages. So for the MSA machine or the MSA system, the menu, the let's say the top menu or the menu bar is always at the top of your screen, and it will get changed when you switch your when you switch your front application. For example, now the Xcode is a topmost application. So when I click this file, actually what we are collect is the Xcode file menu button. Do you understand that? Okay, then we're gonna go to the swept packages. We're gonna add a package dependencies. From there, we can enter the package repository URL and hit the next button. From there, we got an unexpected return value from SL handshake. Was that normal? I don't know. I just go to the browser and copy the link that we have in here. Alright, then we're gonna go back and change the link to this one. Then I'm gonna hit the next button. For this time, it's working without any problem. Well, the only problem is that it takes too long. Why? does it related to the Chinese network? Oh fuck, I cannot take this, so I'm gonna go back to the previous page, then come back to it again. This is ridiculous. The Great Firewall is definitely a tech canner for technique man. Well, that's ridiculous. Even though I could tell you guys that I have set it up procs right in here, the sockets procs. Okay, oh my god, after such a long time of waiting, we finally be able to hit the next button. It's in the resolving. So this tells us how bad the Chinese network are or is. That's stupid. So even for the version check, it takes that long time. That was stupid. Okay, then let's hit the finish button. Now we got this package installed for this project. Let's see what we want to do. We want to try to use this package. So first we need to import this package, right? We're gonna go to the Xcode and say import the swept UI charts. Alright, after that, I just copy this line of code and go to the Xcode. We're gonna copy it here. Oh, sorry, paste it here. Try again. We get some error. That's weird. Why get such an error? It says syntax error. Syntax error. Fix the syntax error in the current file before continuing. Expected func keyword in instant method declaration. Alright, let me just copy this line of error. Then I'm going to go to the server and end a new page. From there, I'm gonna do a search. Why? The default search engine is Baidu. That makes sense. But anyway, let's get into it. It seems like Baidu nowadays also uses the Stack Overflow. That's interesting. I thought they'll never put the foreigner's website inside of their result list. That will probably not be able to fix our problem. So I'm gonna go to the demo and have a look at how can I actually use their product or user packaging. So they also use this the code without any modification, but with a parent of way stuck. So let me do that also, or let me also do that. Oh, yes, you could say the way the Xcode would automatically try to format my code. That's nice. All right, let's see what kind of new error just happened. Oh, I got it. Finally, I got it. So I'm gonna copy those line of code inside of here, or inside here. Then I'm going to remove the way stuck. Now, if we try to rebuild the whole thing again, we should see no problem at all. So now let me hit the play button, and this is what we got. We got a pretty beautiful chart with some written data inside of it. And as you could say, I guess the effects for this graph, or let's say, how can I say this? Okay, let me describe it with a simpler way. I would say it's quite beautiful. It's more beautiful than the flighter kind of stuff, and also it's quite simple. As you could say, all I did is just a pass of one line of code, right? But the result is a lot. I guess the only problem for this approach is that it doesn't support the hot reload feature, which is a time killer for front-end development. If the Apple technical team could be able to solve this problem to aid the hot reload feature to the Swift UI framework, then I guess this would be the best way for doing the development for iOS. Okay, let's save it and forget about the Swift anyway. We're going to create a new one. So let me just close this project, stop the simulator. Then I'm gonna go to the Xcode. For now, we will try to create a new project with a total different programming language. For this time, we'll be using Objective-C. And I'm gonna call it Objective-C demo. Alright, let's hit the next button. For this case, yeah, let's just hit the create button. For now, as you could say, we got a bunch of headers, and the program language itself, this one, main.m. I don't know why they call why they add an M after the dot. That makes sense. It should be just the .c. That would be more comprehensive. That would be more understandable for us. Okay, so for this one, this is our application. It's quite complicated, and it also introduces, I guess this is a memory point or something like that. So you have to manually handle those memories. Quite boring. Okay, that makes sense. For now, I didn't say anything related to our scene. So I'm gonna go to the app delegates. This is kind of like the Coco's 2D game framework. They use the word delegates. I don't know why they use that. It's quite stupid. Why they do that, right? Then we're gonna go to the scene delegates. From there we still see nothing. All right. Then let's go to the view .m. Okay, I still see nothing. That's weird. Well, I didn't even say the hello world string. Then how can I modify it if I cannot say the hello world string? Anyway, let's try to run it first. We got a new simulator launched, iOS 14. Okay, as you could say, the default view for the Objective-C project is a pure white background. So you don't have any hello world string inside of it. So to be honest, for as a beginner, I even didn't know the entry point for this application. I do not understand any line of this article. Well, it's 5 years ago. Okay, now I got it. So according to the tutorial, how can we actually add a... Oh, what I did here. How can we actually add a button into our scene? We do it by drag the component into it. But the interesting part is how can I find a component? So we're gonna select the view controller xlab file from the files in the navigator section. View controller, where are they? That's pure code. I'm pretty sure this tutorial is quite of old. Alright, finally guys, I found where to add a button. So it's right in here. This little add icon. What the fuck the iOS does? Why they put their add button in here? They should add it right in here or something like that. And when I put my mouse on that icon, it says the library. That's wrong. It should be UI component or something like that, or add UI component. That would be more appropriate. So anyway, let's hit the add button here. And for now, you would see a bunch of UI components, such as label, button, text file, the slider, switch, and so on, just like you would say in normal framework, front-end framework. For this time, I just create a simple button or switch. I don't know. Let's just create a button here. I'm gonna do a drop into our view. Well, why it's not working? That makes sense. No matter how hard I try, I always couldn't be able to drag those buttons into our scene. So there must have some problems, but I don't know where that problem comes from. Okay, finally I successfully added a button into our scene, and I could drag it as this is a I guess I did this kind of development a long time ago, back to the Android Studio, the earliest version. This method is quite let's say traditional. So it's like all those things you do is drag your component into the scene, and you use some code to control those components or widgets. It's a traditional way for making an user interface, and I still think that we probably would be able to change the attribute of this. For example, we could change it to something else than the button. So I'm gonna say inside Xcode. Great. Now let me just run this project. Yes, you could say we got the inside Xcode right in here. Alright, I guess that's the end of today's tutorial. For this tutorial, I have covered the method for setting up a swept iOS project and the Objective-C iOS project. And I highly recommend you guys do not use the Objective-C, which because it's too old, and it's probably not a good way for today's application development. Okay, so that's it. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.